You wouldn't sleep too well on that one. Yeah, that'd be rough.
Yeah, I think I would be pretty freaked out.
I don't know the topic. I guess gotta behave, right?
Yep. All right. Yeah, I think I would be pretty freaked out. There, we are live. So, welcome to you, my guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Barack Obama, and I would. Why are you laughing? You don't think that I'm not? You don't think people believe that? Okay. Honestly, I'm just playing. My name is Donald Aloysius Trump. That's not believable. That's not. I don't think anybody's going for that one.
So obviously, we have a jokester tonight.
Kind of.
Obama Aloysius Trump is his name. Can you see people's comments?
I can't see anything. I see you, and I see my plants and my grow wall. So, you know, my name is GERARD KENYATTE. Hey, I don't like that name, but that's my name.
I like that name. GERARD is a good friend of mine. I'm going to go ahead and just forward you the link on YouTube. I don't know if you could open separate windows.
Yeah, I think I get pop-ups when you go live. I don't know your audience here. I know your audience on Facebook, so I don't know them here.
Well, you know, they're basically the Facebook audience as well. They're, you know, my friends follow me wherever I am popping up.
Wait, no. See, on Facebook, you're like biggish. YouTube, you're kind of blowing up. You're kind of swelling up a little bit. So that old crystal cult people, I don't see them on your YouTube as much. Do they have those like club names? They got fake names.
They have ninja names.
Is that what it's called now? Ninja names.
Yes, we have no master. We're no longer samurai because samurai have masters, right? They have the daimyos, but ninjas don't. So we now have ninja names.
Ninja names. Okay, I have to see if I recognize some of these people.
Well, you want to know something really, really funny? I was talking on YouTube about, you know, I once got really upset because someone who had known me for quite a few years was furious with me for supporting one of the amendments. You saw that live.
Oh, yeah, that was the peppermint patty one.
Yes, see, you remember. Yes. And I was like, hey. I thought it was safe to like joke around about that because, you know, that was on Facebook. Ain't nobody on Facebook go to YouTube. And then someone, Larissa, was like, I remember that live. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I took that down though.
No, but see, that was pretty prolific now. I mean, we don't tune in. There are a couple things we tune into. If we see somebody yelling and screaming on camera, we're going to watch. If we see somebody crying on camera, we're going to watch. And we see someone pull out some sort of a Glock, clock, plot, whatever, and pocket. Especially a woman, a pretty one. Oh, come on. No, everybody's watching that. We need to know who she's shooting, why she's shooting them, what's going on. Can I watch it? Unfortunately, we're Americans, and even the people who like hate guns are like, gun control. They'll still join and watch like, oh, somebody's about to shoot somebody. They people like to pretend.
I must admit, I came unhinged in that video.
No.
Live. I did come unhinged.
No, did you?
Just a tad, just one hinge.
So you mean when you pulled the knife out or the gun out? Which one?
I did not pull a knife out that I remember, but I did wave a gun around.
No, you did the gun. There was something about a knife. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. I'm gonna find you in a minute. I'll find the comments. Yeah, because
the next video, I think, because I went live again. Remember, and then I dragged you on live with me.
I remember something about you shanking somebody, and you pull you guns and knives, bow and arrows, some spears. It was a whole bunch of stuff you pulled out, katanas, and you pulled it. I know you pulled a knife. I ain't crazy. Okay, I am crazy. I take that back.
I never shanked anybody, at least not physically. Energetically, I might have.
I remember making jokes. I remember making jokes with your watchers. We were joking about you talking about shanking somebody in the I think you blacked out. That's what I think. I think you was flipping out. You talking about peppermint patty. You blacked out. You don't remember what the hell happened. You deleted it, but it stayed up for a while. And that's a little secret that you don't know, that when you delete it, it doesn't delete it right away. So we were all watching it and we were still laughing and commenting long after you deleted. But I think you blacked out. You should. I can't see the comments. So
I will say I did cock it like a Sarah Connor. I can cock it on my thigh. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, it was funky. What you did was funky. It was serious. Like I felt it. I thought I was about to duck. I thought you was really about to get hot on something. I was like, what the hell is going on? What the hell happened? Who said what, why, when? You was pissed. And I knew that was going to get taken down. I knew Facebook was Mark Zuckerberg. They called him directly. It was like, this woman crazy as all hell. She got guns and bows and arrows and stuff. I know they called him. I knew that wasn't going to make it. But that's what we tune into. We like guns, violence, sex, and violence. As long as it's got that, you can sell us a car, a clock radio, television, some shoes. We'll tune into anything that's got that. We're Americans.
Yes. Yeah. Well, see, what had happened was I just had like a really real moment. And then I know the memo that went out on the Facebook back end, they were like, the anomaly has lost it. The anomaly has lost it, because they've been trying to track. And because my behavior is so erratic, my posts, they can't quite calibrate their algorithms to take my posts down. And then that was it. They were like, yes, we finally got something. And then I was like, no, bitchachos, it's coming down.
Yeah, that was quick. You did take it down really quick. You deleted it quick. I think, but you know what? honestly, and you know, coming from an IT background, I think that, okay, I got the comments. There we go. I think that it's all software now. I don't think anybody's checking anything. I think it's all, in fact, it's really obvious on Facebook. They just start taking posts down, and then you combat it, and then they'll block you for 3 days. You go to Facebook prison, don't drop soap, stuff like that. And then you come back and they're like, oh, we apologize. We're sorry. We didn't mean to take it down, blah, 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 blah. So I think it's just software. It flags what you do, what you say. And when the way you cocked it, because you kind of used your thumbs or something, you did this crazy thing. It couldn't pick up on that was a gun and it was cocked. But like when you say gun, they're flagging that for keywords also.
Yeah, no, I called it Peppermint Patty. I said, welcome to, I'm introducing Patty. And then when I cocked it, say this was it, I didn't like go like this. I held it and I used my palm and I just very gently held it. And I went,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't even pull it back. I just and let it go. And it went,
right.
And what now, Patty?
Right. And that's the problem. It was aggressive and violent because you didn't cock it like you just, oh, it's a gun. Oh, it's just a gun. I don't even know what to do with this. I ain't never had, this is my husband's gun. I don't even know what to do. You didn't do that. You was like, yeah, but like you just like South Central or something. That was the problem. You acted like you knew what the hell you were doing. Like, no. They had to flag that. If you just pretended like you didn't know what you were doing and you dropped it and went off, they'd have been like, we don't care. She didn't know she did. She gonna shoot herself anyway. We're gonna make a lot on advertisement. But you acted like you knew what you were doing. You were upset. And plus then you linked up the name of a cartoon character with it. They don't tend to like that. Americans, they get a little scared with that. They don't care. They'll buy their kids guns all day long. They can watch Lord of the Rings. They can watch the war movies. They can watch gang violence. They can watch CSI crime. They can watch all of that stuff. But the minute you link it up with a cartoon like Peppermint Patty, you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. I think next time if I have another tirade like that, I'll show you guys why I always use stitch reinforcement on my male cargo pants, because I don't wear women's clothing. You could actually like that because it catches and it could, see what I'm saying? Just one hand. So you could do both and we're ready. All right, let's get back on topic. What are we going to talk about tonight? Truth bombs.
I was going to tell you, I had to just real quick. You said, if you get upset again, I was going to say, I know, unfortunately, and this is going to sound really racist. It's going to sound really, really racist. And I don't really care because I don't think I believe in races anymore. But I know a lot of Filipino women. And there's no ifs in it. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts. When they get pissed off, you're going to hear from it, you're going to see it, you're going to smell it, it's going to come flying at you. So ain't no ifs. Ain't no ifs. It's just a matter of when.
He knows. He knows.
What are we talking about anyway?
Well, let's just tell them how you have been in a Filipino relationship. You know the ins and outs of that. Yeah?
I don't think I said that, did I?
I don't know.
I don't think, did I say that?
I know you know a lot of Filipinas. I was just trying to jump to get you to admit something that you've never admitted.
Well, you know what? Hey, full disclosure. I'm not a spring chicken. Okay. I've had a friend or two. And yes, I've been very close with Filipino. I know what lumpias are. Yes, I do. In fact, I got, you know what's that purple? I got that purple potato. I'm a gardener. That's what I love. I love growing stuff. And y'all, they got me hooked on the purple wood. That wasn't the only thing I was hooked on, but that's not this discussion. They got me hooked on this purple potato. What is that called?
Ube. Oh my God.
Ube. Yeah, I got my ube seeds. Where my ube seeds at?
No, you don't. Are you?
Hell yeah, I do. I ain't playing. You think I'm playing in the garden?
I don't want to know because you be naked in your garden.
I'm naked everywhere. I don't do clothes. Clothes are evil. Clothes are from Satan himself. You listen, your body is, you got vitamin D3 come from the sun, and my kids is grown. I can walk, I can do anything I want in the house. I can just do blah. You do, and you're supposed to be in the garden too. When God made Adam and Eve, he didn't give them Versace. He didn't give them none of that. He didn't give them lotion. They was out there bucket naked and walking around in the Garden of Eden, taking in all that good sun doing what it's supposed to do. If Americans ate better and did some exercises, I'd be in a nudist colony. I'd be in one. I wouldn't have any issues with that, but I ain't going trying to see all of that because Americans, Now we in Italy, Spain, somewhere, and California might be different. I don't know. They take care of themselves out here, but the Americans around here, oh no, I love them to death. I love my people. I will not talk about my people. They're like Oompa Loompas. They just, and nobody want to see Oompa Loompa loop, doop, doop, doop. No, we don't need to see that. So I in my own garden. But yeah, I got them around here somewhere. My ube seeds. I've never started them from seeds. I usually do potatoes right from potatoes. Anyway, I don't think that's the topic. Is that the topic? That's not the topic.
No.
What's the topic?
I think you and I are having elevated levels of ADHD. It's beautiful to see it mirroring in you though.
Is that's a good thing?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
There is a question for you really quick.
Oh, I can see comments. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried balut?
Well, see, okay. Huh?
You're vegan, right?
All right. So for anybody who doesn't know any Filipinos, I want to help y'all out real quick. Okay. When you go to their houses for dinner, you're going to walk in. This is how I went. Like you walk in, you're going to see a whole bunch of little people, like these little people everywhere. As far as I felt like I was going to the Wizard of Oz. And I'm not being racist or nothing, because you got really tall Filipinos, but I happen to just be around the small ones. And you walk in, it's kind of like walking in Oz, and they're not representing lollipop land, like nobody jumping around, nothing like that, but it's food everywhere. Food everywhere, and they like to speak Tagalog. They don't want to speak your language. They like throw a few English words in here just to let you know that they're talking about you, but that's it. And then they just bring you plates of food and you just start eating. So real talk. They would give me stuff and they would just like, this bologo. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm just eating. It's like, oh, that's delicious. Oh, let's not do that again. And then I'm just delicious. I've eaten so many things I had no idea. And this is my American side. And this is why everybody laugh at America, because I can be racist against Americans and our foolish nonsense too. I had no idea what they were saying. They were putting stuff in my mouth. I could have been eating cat, dog, rat, mouse with nice sauce on it with some pineapples or something. And it was delicious. I didn't really care. The woman was fine as hell. So why would I care? I was, oh, this is delicious. Oh, girl, what's your name? This is delicious, girl. How'd you put in this? Damn, give me that recipe. And I had no idea what I was eating, but it sounds familiar. Lumpias were my favorite because I'm a vegetarian. So the vegetarian lumpias, oh, they was off. It was rocking. I love foreign food though. Indian food is my best food though. I love Filipino people and I love the dishes, but the Indian people, they rock. I'm sorry, they got right now. They're kind of on my top list right now.
Indian food. Indian food's on your top list?
They're kind of on my top list for vegetarian, because Filipinos, y'all didn't listen to what's the name, Dr. Colin Campbell. Y'all didn't listen to him when he went over there and he tried to. Yeah, he remember because he went over where who was it? Marcos. Marcos was the one that called over Dr. Campbell because the kids were dying from liver cancer. Did you read you read the China study, right? Oh, woman, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. So anyway, the China study, y'all need to read this book by Dr. Colin Campbell. And so, you know, because America thought protein is like everything. Protein fixes everything. And you got everybody, if you're sick and dying, you got to eat protein. So Dr. Campbell went to the Philippines because Marcos called him over because all the kids were dying from liver cancer. And so when he got there, he did a study and he found out the rich kids were dying at significant percentages than the poor kids were. And the reason that worked out that way is because the rich kids were eating more meat. And meat has something in it called casein. Casein fertilizes cancer's growth. So while all the kids had cancer, and I think the liver cancer was coming from the peanuts that had some sort of mold or something that was growing on them. I'm not sure why I'm telling you this daggone story. Why am I telling you this story?
It's a part of my
ADHD. Huh?
It's a part of my people's history that I don't know about. Keep going.
Well, yeah. So, but and this is where he wrote the book, The China Study, because he went over and he studied the Filipino kids, and he kind of went back to Marcos and was like, well, the problem is you're actually eating too much protein, and the protein's called casein. So the wealthy kids need to eat more like the poor kids, which is more fruits and vegetables and things that were more affordable back then. Oh, that's why I was telling you. Right. So this is why you were Filipino people, because y'all put meat in everything. Y'all didn't listen to Marcos. So now every time I go down and sit down, and I would go sit down and I'd sit at the house and they were like, oh, here he comes. That's the vegetarian again. And they would say it in Tagalog. I don't even know how to say that in Tagalog. And they're like, oh, yeah. And they had like 22 dishes laid out, all just meat, just everywhere, even with the fish with the eyes and the lips and everything. And they got like apples or something on it. I don't know where I got the apple part from. And I would eat one dish because I was a vegetarian, because Filipinos love, and is that racist? Like y'all, but they put meat in everything now.
Yeah, no, that's how it's been. Heavy on the meat, heavy on the starch. This is why I was sick for so long. I was vegan for 6.5 years, and I would go to a family party, and I was the kind of vegan where once any type of animal product touches the dish, the whole thing is tainted. I can't eat anything from there. And they're like, just pick out the meat, just put some of the sauce onto the rice. And I'm like, no, vegan means that you cross-contaminated. And they don't, a lot of, especially traditional Filipinos, do not understand this. Like, it's so heavy on the meat. I like to be about 75% plant-based and then 25% meat protein. But yeah, no, you're right. And being so heavy on the starch has really made most Filipinos, predisposed to things like diabetes and all of the heavy lard consumption. Because it's if you look at the history of the Filipino people, which I know very little of, to be honest, we were...
That's racist. You don't know?
I know very little of my own people's history.
Do you realize that right now you got this Black A dude telling you about your history? Is this ain't a good look for you, because these Filipinos right out there now, they cussing you out right now.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying something like that. Can you speak Tagalog?
I absolutely can.
Okay.
Absolutely can. It's my first language.
But to be fair, we need to be fair about a few things. I want to let people know, because I don't let nobody fake the funk. I don't let nobody fake the funk. She literally on Facebook said, if it's a zombie apocalypse and you ride in on the horse, she gonna eat your horse. She said that live. She got a video, and I agree with her. I'm a vegetarian all day long. All day. Is zombies on the street and ain't no food in the kitchen, you better not show up on no horse, zebra, hyena, I don't care what you ride. We eating that night. We gonna eat it. You can bring some cats to this is my cat. If I'm starving, and this is just the real talk, this is how we survive. And we were talking about Filipino people eating meat, and it's the funny thing that you got an American talking about it, because we the worst people in the world. The Filipinos ain't nowhere near bad as we are. But I got a theory for it. I got a crazy theory. I always had these crazy theories in my head. I was listening to Saj Guru. He's my guru. He was talking about how we need to eat less things with emotions, right? Like I'm not the ignorant vegetarian guy to say, oh, you gotta eat vegetables or you're gonna die. I really don't care what people eat. I love animals, but I understand the contradictions. Like Americans will eat a cow and cry when they see some people in China putting dogs in bags in the grocery store. Listen, a dog is a cow. All right. So let's let that go. He said that you want to eat less things with emotions, right? Because we're all energy. That's why I loved and I watch your show, because you kind of explain to me things I don't understand. I'm trying to understand better. But we're all energy. Everything is energy. And you're eating energy. And so his point was you want to eat less things that have complex emotions, right? Because if you eat something with emotions, what happens to those emotions? Because the emotions are energy. We aren't matter. We're mostly, the atomic mass of the human being is almost nothing. So if you're eating an abused emotional creature that has a lot of hormones and negative energy and hate and anger and oppression and pain and everything, and you eat that animal, what happens to that? And so here's my theory. My theory is the kings, like in the Philippines, the rich people used to eat all the meat. The Americans, the British, the Africans, all the kings and queens ate the meat. We didn't. And they were psychopathic, right? They were inbreeding. They were murderous and bloody. They didn't have any soul, no love, nothing. And everybody wanted to mimic them. So everybody started eating the meat that they do at the percentages they do. Now it seems like mental illness is prolific. Psychopathy, the kings and lords psychopathy is everywhere. And I kind of think it has a little bit to do with the fact that we're now eating their diets because everybody wants to be them.
Yeah, yes. This is why it's so prolific. The abuse of animals that are grown in factory farms it's so prolific, because just like with satanic ritual, they have to abuse to encourage certain chemical makeup within the blood, which then infuses into the flesh right before they're basically murdered. And yes, I do eat meat, but right before they're murdered, they're very much aware. These sentient beings are very much aware of what they're being taken to, what their fate is. They can smell it in the air, they can feel it, and that's embedded in their flesh. Why do you think why do you think animals that are, you know, very humanely treated, it per pound their flesh costs so much more, you know, like,
right. Well, I was gonna say something. So two things. So like, it's like how your dog knows when you're coming home, right? You're a mile away, your dog knows you're coming home. Same way these animals that are being abused take on those negative emotions, right? There are people who say the Native Americans, it's slightly different how indigenous people do it, when the bow and arrow and how they kill them, how they sneak up on them, they don't know it's coming. And sometimes they would hold the animal and usher it into the next life type thing, if they didn't die quickly. I don't know anything about that. So let me be clear. I got to be clear, because Tracy said, "Who's that, Tracy? I love you, girl." Or if that's a guy, "What's up, Brock?" Either way, you said plants are no different than animals. What I'm explaining is, I'm not explaining anything. I'm questioning, right? I don't think we know as much as we ever think we know. I have no issue with the fact that I murder microbiology. I make smoothies 2-3 times a week, and it's millions of microbiome, and I murder them. Tracy, I get them, I put them in the blender. They're on the lettuce, they're on the avocado, they're on the nuts, and I put them all in. I murder millions of creatures, and I eat it up in a smoothie. So I'm not anyone saying anything about any meat eaters. I'm murdering a whole lot of stuff on my salads. But what I'm saying is that what I'm looking at is the difference for me in terms of emotions, right? Like when you eat things that have complex emotions at the same percentage of the kings and lords do, my question kind of is for myself is, or for you or anybody who's thinking about it, can you take on energy that's negative or dark and hormones? So I just wanted to clarify. I'm not one to tell anybody, you know, I'm not one of these vegans, stop eating meat, you're killing animals. We just walking in the garden for murdering stuff. Unfortunately, it's just the world we live in.
right, right. And that's a huge point, is that we do exist on this plane that's a very violent plane. It's a very dense, violent plane. Just by your existence, you are a part of that. And I mean, it's very difficult to transmute that type of energy. A lot of people think that, oh, you just bless it. How are you blessing this? How are you transmuting? Are you taking in the pain of that animal and showing like true gratitude down to your core. Thank you for what you've endured to continue my existence here on this plane. Very much reminiscent of how native cultures process their meat before they consume the animal product. They show reverence. We've stepped away from blessing our food. That used to be a part of, you know, the American culture. And then there was a war that was waged that really focused on the family unit, destabilizing the family unit to affect the children, and generation after generation of this. Then all these little practices that used to seem like they were little, but actually were helping to negate the negativity. They went to the wayside and they've been forgotten. You know, nothing but fast food, parents rushing, single family homes, lots of instability on every level.
Right. And I like how you mentioned prayer. I think there's something to that, right? Like the whole, what was the Japanese doctor or Japanese scientist who talked about happy water and sad water? Like, I think this whole prayer thing, praying over your food, blessing your food, you know, I think that his studies actually are probably showing how you were changing the makeup of your food. Yeah, there you go. Somebody just posted, Dr. Emoto, spiritual port. You're changing the makeup of your food when you're blessing it. And I think that religion does what it does, and it kind of takes on its own life of its own. Everybody goes in different ways. But I think like the root foundation of truth is always there. And there's something about blessing food that replicates that. And I think you can go all over YouTube and different places and you'll see people who are like, they did the experience with the rice where they say, you know, take 2 bowls of rice and 1 bowl of rice every day. Say, I love you, rice. You're so fluffy and just so soft. And then you go in the next room and like, you bastard, I can't stand you. I'm gonna get peppermint patty. I'm gonna just drop some bombs on you. Pump, you know, and then you go to work. And they do this for like months on end. And then the rice that you're nice to, it stays like white and fluffy and might be a little tinge of mold in a corner where it couldn't hear you. But then the other bowl is like black and nasty and funky and it stink, got mold growing on it. And people have done this over and over. So there's something there. There's definitely something to just sitting down, eating your Big Mac, a Happy Meal, a Whopper or whatever, not giving a damn versus saying a blessing over.
Well, you know, it's not just that. I don't remember I think you were already present when I was still heavy into my chocolatier life. I used to make chocolate truffles. They were vegan truffles. And people were going bonkers off these truffles. And I was just like, I don't get it. They're just chocolate. And I would consistently get messages. It tastes like angels stirred it. It tastes like chocolate from heaven. And I'm just like, I wonder why they're saying that. And then it clicked because that was around the time that I really began looking into Dr. Emoto's work. I would never make the truffles if I was in a bad mood. Aside from being in the kind of mood where I'm singing and I'm dancing with the bowl of hot chocolate, you know, I wouldn't make the chocolate because I recognized I was putting into that chocolate whatever my emotion is. Anything that has any type of liquid or crystalline structure, which liquid is a type of crystalline structure, it will take in the program. And it was at that time when I was working on chocolates that I really began to solidify my applied biospiritual theories on crystallized programming. And I even tell my husband this because he makes most of the meals. If he's in a bad mood, I ain't eating that shit. You can program all the stuff. And I'm not eating that.
So you got a little attitude. Well, there's something to that, like soul cooking and soul food and, you know, eating meals as family and making sure you're eating food from like certain people. And that I never really thought about. I guess that does make sense. If he's trying to make you a meal and he had a bad day at work, is he around here? I don't know if he's on here tonight. If he's had a bad,
He should be on.
I've never seen him have a bad day, but you don't really show him to us too much. I tried to get you to put him on camera. You ain't done that. I've never seen him on there, but that makes sense. Because if he's having a bad day, so I don't know, you was being wrong to him or something, wasn't being nice to him, didn't rub his feet or something like that, he's upset. he's cooking your meal and he's kind of like grumbling, wishing, I can't believe she wouldn't rub my feet. I work hard all day, making money coming home. She not even paying. And like, he's like cursing. No, he's not gonna curse you, but he's just not in a happy mood. I guess it would make sense because you would be bringing up negative emotion and putting negative energy because like, not that he means any of it, but your subconscious, it has no idea if you're serious, if you're not. It's taking in that program. It's like, we're in a bad mood. We need to poison this person who eats this food because this person has not been nice to us. So that's the idea. Don't eat the food and angry people. I don't eat potlucks anyway. That's nasty. I go to people's house too much and they don't wash their hands. They got dogs and cats and monkeys on the table jumping around in the kitchen and stuff. I used to go to work, go to potluck. Everyone bring the little casseroles and everybody put them out like, oh, that looks so good. I'm going to get some of that. Yeah, Tom made that pot. I'm going to get some of that. And listen, at work, we used to have that little wash your hands list where I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. Men, they don't wash their hands when they go in the bathroom. I need to let y'all know that 82%, it's a fact, do not wash their hands when they come out of public restroom. Men, when we go in the restroom, we'll go in there, use the bathroom. Those of us who have home training will come out and wash our hands and just look at everybody else, walk right in that store, do his business, and walk right out. Like, you nasty mother hubby. Nope, potluck came at work, I wasn't eating nothing. I don't need gout, I don't need pink eye on my tongue. That's just nasty. Hell no. Hell no. I eat my cooking and cooking of people I know. Anytime we do potluck, I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't do it. Unless she's fine. Is she fine? Oh no, that's a whole different story. She fine, little Filipino. I told you, ain't got me. Ain't got me. Come eat some of this go. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, look at her like, damn, she fine. Oh, damn, I guess I go ahead and eat it. I don't even know you. Look at, like, hey, you wash your hands? Who cooked that? Was it the mama or the guy? Which one? Do Filipino guys, do they wash their hands?
I don't know. I do believe what you're saying about most guys don't wash their hands. One of the reasons I am so in love with my husband, even after 20 years together, this mofo washed his head after everything.
Y'all been married 20 years?
Over 20 years.
Y'all need to write a book. You need to write a book. People can't stay in a relationship 2 months. You've been together, anybody's been married for 20 years need to write a book. They need to put some spreadsheets together, what y'all talk about, what y'all do, where y'all go, how you keep it fresh. Y'all need to write a book. 2 books. He needs to write a book to tell us the secrets. You need to write a book to tell them the secrets, because Americans can't stay together for nothing. They can't even go to the movies. People can't even sit down on a date for 20 minutes.
You know what it is?
What is it?
People want others to put into them the kind of investment that they feel they deserve, but they're refusing to invest in the other person in the same way. There's no reciprocity. They just want, me, and they're refusing to understand that people show their love, their devotion, their loyalty in different ways. What we want, without realizing it, is ourselves. We want someone to love us the way we love other people. And this is one of the things that my husband taught me. It took me quite a few years to understand that he finally had to snap one day and be like, what you want is for me to be you. I'm not you. You can't even stand yourself half the time. Never get truthful with me like this. And it's half the time I'm annoyed with myself. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Ooh, yeah, that reminds me that oh, praise, I'm tripping. That reminds, because that's a real saying though, because they say that if you wouldn't date, would you date yourself? Would you marry yourself? Can you tolerate yourself? And if you can't, there's some upgrading that needs to happen. Like if you met yourself, would you do those things that you want and putting yourself in somebody else's shoes? But people don't like that. That takes too much work. That's work. I don't know. Look in the mirror, work on me. Why would I do that? I'm gonna let somebody deal with my snot. And I'm gonna let somebody deal with my nonsense. America's a weird place. That's weird. So I'm gonna die alone. I'm probably gonna die with some cats. I might get me a dog, some crystals or something.
You're not gonna
die. I'm gonna die alone. I can't do it.
You were starting that naked crystal cult.
I'm gonna start a naked crystal cult in the garden. People gonna be in the garden naked in crystals, and ain't gonna be no hanky panky franky, none of that nonsense. It's just gonna be people just taking in the sun, vitamin D3, and people that just was rejected. And every place they go, people try to get them married and linked up. No, I'm not against marriage though. I'm not against marriage. I'm not against relationships or nothing. I'm against people making things where they shouldn't make things. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm against people looking. It's a bad idea to look, because if you go looking, that's your conscious mind. And usually your conscious mind ain't your mind. That's the indoctrinated mind. That's where you were born, who you were born around, who they was with, what they said, what their mama said, what they went through, what the husband said, and the wife flipped out, smacked him in the head. And you got all of this crap, and you just take that and put in a dating profile. This is what I'm looking for. And that's a mistake. You don't want that person because you don't really want that person. Your subconscious, I mean, it knows that's your true self. It knows who you are, what you need, where you're going to be in 20 years, 40 years. But on dating profiles, they don't have a room, they don't have a form for your subconscious to fill out. You just fill out all the crap that your girlfriend told you or what your guy friends told you, what you think you want. And in 10 years, it's never what you want. So I think some people luck up and they end up with the right person. And other people, they pick and choose who they want at the moment. And they don't want that person in 10 or 20 years. I just don't think people should look. I think you should live your life, be you. Your boat's going that way, their boat's going that way. And one day you realize, damn it, our boat's kind of going in the same direction. What the cookies taste like? No. Let me start. Did I say that? I didn't say that. Was this mic on? I didn't say that. I didn't say nothing.
That is the secret to Frey and I's relationship. You know, yes, we are legally married. The reason because I don't really believe in marriage, to be honest. I think it's total BS. You know, you really need someone's permission to be committed to another person. That's kind of my thing.
That's very slavish. Yeah.
The reason I agreed to the technicality of marriage is for tax purposes. But I've always had this mindset of, if our boats are both going in the same place, beautiful, let's enjoy it together. And the moment your boat decides to go to somewhere else, you need to go, all right, I'm not going to hold it against you. That doesn't negate this whole journey we've been on. And it's a beautiful one. I'm not going to suddenly be like, I hate you, you're horrible, you're no longer the father of our children. Like, that's just ridiculous to me. So, you know, a lot of people, they think that this piece of paper is like the epitome of relationship. This is like the goal. And what is it? Aside from complying with legalities, being legally responsible for another person, seen legally as one entity, I feel like it doesn't really have any purpose. And people, it's like they try and play the role until they get to that point where they get that goal, they've attained that goal. And then after that, it's kind of just like, well, I mean, do I really need to commit crime? We already achieved whatever we were going to achieve, you know? So you need that piece of paper, you need a title for a house, you need the birth certificates for the children, and then whatever other, you know, material goals you've set. And if you really think about it, all of these things that we list as goals as adults for relationships are nothing but debt. These are things to ensure that we are financially obligated in some way for the remainder of our lives.
Mm-hmm. You know? It's a comfort zone. And I like how you're doing that. I have to be careful with us. Mr. Frey ain't around. I like how you treat him. You know what to say. I gave him credit and I'm gonna give you credit. I like what because you've said that on multiple times. And if I was Frey, I'd have been like, what you mean? In fact, he said that one night. One night he heard you say that. He's like, what you talking about? What you mean? You won't go another way. No, your boat ain't going nowhere, god dang it. You know, and I love how, but what you're doing is you're putting, and I don't know if you do it intentionally, you're just putting it out there. A little risk is good. A little risk is good. When you let people know, hey, you got to stay on point, you know, and hopefully he lets you know that as well. You got to stay on point. But the marriage thing, it's a chain. That's the only purpose. Its only purpose is for the state to control you. You're a slave and you can't go get married because I own you. I'm the king, I'm the Lord. You ain't getting married till I let you go get married. And like, it's this, we got all this manufactured consent nonsense that's just like riddled throughout our society that like keeps us in that slave mind. But it's like literally hooking shackles to someone like, you're mine now. I don't have to take you to the movies no more. Damn it, we don't have to go to plays no more. She like, I ain't got to give you none no more. Not when I don't feel like it, I'm going to sleep. And then people, they get complacent. And I think it's good to have a little bit of fire. Look, it's good every now and then, you know, y'all out, you know, you don't even like that guy. You're like, I'm afraid he just make my biscuits roast, you know, but you see another guy, you kind of look over there, look at that guy, and Frey like, oh, what the hell, you know, but it keeps him on his game. You know, not like to get somebody jealous. I'm not saying that. I don't like none of that. People try to make people jealous. That's stupid. That's a game. But when you just let them know that, you know, I'm still looking good. I can get out here, you know, I'm mama, you know, I got my furry shoes on and stuff. I'm chilling around the house with my flip-flops. But damn it, when I get dressed up, I go out and these men gonna notice me. And good afraid to see that, you know, with respect. And a man come over there, oh, hi, how you doing? You need to get up out of here. I don't even know what's wrong with you. That's my man. You see my man? That's what my husband looked like, you know? And so I think it's good to have a little bit of risk. It's spicy, it's saucy, you know, it's good to not become complacent, but I think that's the problem with marriages. But the problem with state marriage is that it's this requirement. It literally is you're holding a knife over someone like, if you leave, I'm taking half of your stuff. You leave, you're gonna be paying this. And who wants somebody to be around that doesn't want to be around? What Frey knows with you is when you come home, it's because you want to come home. And same way around. And that's what you want. You want to be with someone who really wants to come home, not someone who feels obligated. That's how I am. You want to go somewhere? Bye. See you. Bye, Felicia. Gone. You want to call Tyrone? Damn, would you like me to dial it for you? I'm not in the business of not keep people who don't want to be kept. Why would you want to keep somebody that don't want to be with you? Buy them some plane tickets. Pack up the luggage for them. Let them go.
Yeah, no, and we have these discussions. It's not because we're arguing or anything like that, but every once in a great while, I like to remind him, like, you know, if at any point at all, you are not your happiest with me, let me know. You're not going to be taken off any bank accounts. You're not going to be kicked out the house. We can still cohabitate in the same room. You want to date? You just let me know. You are free. I will never stop you from being happy. I want to be with you. And I mean, honestly, if there ever comes a time where we are not a couple, I've done the whole long-term relationship thing. I'm really not interested in other human beings. I have no, you know what I mean? I'll probably start my own naked crystal cult.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It ain't never gonna happen. She ain't never leaving no friend. Ain't never gonna happen. Them two people love each other. But so there's a lot to that. It's just so much. And so, but you say that not as a threat. It's not like, hey, you can pack your bag. Because what's the name of that song y'all little angry women like to sing to your men? To the left or something. To the left, and put all your stuff. That song. What is that song? I don't even listen to this stuff. It's crazy.
By Beyonce.
Huh?
Irreplaceable by Beyonce.
What does it mean, like to the left? Somebody told me that one. All your stuff to the left in the closet or something.
Yeah. If I bought it, that's my stuff. Please don't touch it.
Okay. All right. So
she got her own.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, nothing wrong with that. You're supposed to be strong, have your own, but you should let people know, like, look, I'm here with you because I want to be with you. But if you want to go, I love you enough that you need to get your stuff, get together, go find whoever you need to make you happy, because I love you enough that I want you to be happy. Exactly. And to me, that's a powerful statement. It's not like you can take it negatively if you're a fool, but if you're smart, you understand exactly what's being said when that's being said.
Right. And it's never said as a threat where it's like, you want someone else and go away. No, it's like, if at any point, you know, you don't feel like this is where you're happiest, I'm not going to keep you. You know, my love is not the kind of love that serves as a gilded cage. It's the kind of love that will love you just as you are. I do recognize I am the face of this brand, but without you, without your support, none of this would have ever happened, because it was you that believed in me more than I could ever believe in myself and told me, do this. You don't have to worry about anything else. I will hold everything down. I will work. I will do whatever it takes. You figure yourself out. And when you're ready, you step out onto that whatever platform and you do your thing. This is why he doesn't come on the lives. He's like, this is your time to shine. I don't need to take any from that. People are like, oh, why does she hide him? Because he's like, I want her to shine.
Yeah, and he doesn't No, well, wait a minute, so let me think about it. Because I tried to get him on camera a couple times. He always, I got his hand on camera though, y'all. I think I'm winning the fray game. I think I'm winning because I got him to put his hand on the camera once. Last year, 2 years ago, something like that. I seen his hand. He's a real person. He is. Because we were debating on Facebook. We were trying to say, is Emmie really married? She's making up. She's lying. Because you know how sometimes people put a ring on their finger, get like they get good ventriloquisms. And there was Michael or somebody in the background talking. No, he a real guy. He got real guy, got real hand. He a real man, real man. You know, she ain't faking. He's just, I guess he's kind of shy. He give you your time and your moment. But I'm gonna be psychiatrist for a minute. I don't know y'all from a can of paint from, I don't even know so damn psychiatry. I just think that you're the talkative, boisterous, bubbly one that loves to be in public and this is your thing. You're helping people and it's awesome. And Frey's just more low key, like, nah, I ain't gotta do that, man. Listen, I got my thing. You got your thing. I like to say, yeah, I'm wrong. He's like in public, he's like out there talking to people social, running through the airport. Yo, I got swords. I got swords.
He's a
Gemini.
He's a Gemini. He is a Gemini. When we were living in the RV and still traveling everywhere, he is the exact opposite of what you said. I'm all quiet in my phone doing my work, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my wife right there. Check out her." I'm like, "Motherfucker, why you keep telling people this?"
What?
Yeah. He's in the room.
Well, no, hang on, wait. See, but no, hang on, whoa. Let's keep it real. See, they go to fit. I got a wrist. I got a wrist and a damn hand on the camera. That's right. I'm winning this game. I ain't got most of Frey on the camera than anybody on this planet. I'm winning. But see, let's be clear though. See, now what he was doing though, he wasn't bringing attention to himself. He wasn't like, yo, I'm Frey. What's up, nigga? He wasn't like that. He was chilling. He was like, look, this is my woman. Y'all need to check her out. She the bomb. Boop, 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 boop. He was promoting you. And so that's love. That's different. And he still could be a quiet guy. Is he just loud when he's promoting his baby?
No, he just loud.
Oh, he is loud.
I'm very.
So when we were first dating, he was just like obnoxiously loud. Yeah, like it's always anywhere we go, because he's a little social butterfly. He knows everybody knows him, and we well, see, that's the thing. That's the beauty of a very healthy, balanced relationship. With me being as quiet as I am and being very reserved and just observant, we've really become a mixture of the two of us. Where I'm silent, he's made me loud. Where he's loud, I've kind of helped him to kind of pull in a little bit and see that he doesn't need the attention, that the beauty of his essence is felt by everyone around him. He doesn't need to be like, look at me, I'm in the space. You know what I mean? And so it's been a huge, huge learning. It's just, we've been learning together about ourselves and about each other this whole time. It's not that one of us is more stronger or more balanced than the other. It's that each of us are able to trigger moments of learning for the other when it's right. Because you can't force someone to learn something they're not ready to learn. You know,
I swallow all of that, and I'll be honest with you, just because how my mind works in the back of my head, like, he wanted by the FBI. He don't want to get on camera. That's why, because his facial recognition, DHS, somebody, CIA, somebody want this man. He does not want to get on camera. He's a smart man for it too. They ain't got no fingerprint. They don't have facial finger recognition. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, look, I ain't gonna know it's true. Somebody want me, IRS, somebody, I ain't getting on no damn camera. They got facial recognition. No, I'm just kidding. No, but serious, real talk. I was thinking about this earlier today. Because y'all are puzzle pieces and y'all fit together. Y'all fit together. And when you try to make somebody fit, like it's like taking a puzzle and you're like pieces that don't fit together, and you get the knife, you're trying to cut it, make it fit inside and trying to make this person and fix this man or fix this woman. And you're like, and it's not just like marriages, it's friends too. Like you're taking people who don't even fit in your puzzle of what your world is supposed to be, and you're making them fit in. But when you meet someone and y'all got that thing going over a lifetime, y'all just fit. And it's just, you match up here and there. I was just kidding on the FBI thing. I think he praying like, I think back in my head, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think that.
What? if you want to do a conspiracy theory, we went to go purchase a brand new RV. I gave them my license, my valid license with all 30 of my names. I gave them my social security card, and they could not find me in the system.
What system?
They were trying to run my credit.
And they couldn't find you.
And he came back, he puts all my identification cards on the desk in front of me. He goes, I don't know who you're running from, but you're not in the system. It's like, no, really. And he's like, yeah, we've tried all kind of different combinations and you're not in the system. And anytime I try and put in some sort of application for any type of like health insurance, or like it's an anomaly. One time, my youngest, he had to be hospitalized for asthma, and I was hospitalized along with him for my asthma. And they were like, months later, they messaged me and they're like, you know, we're about to send your account to collections. I'm like, why? I have health insurance coverage. And they're like, well, we can't find you in the system. And I said, my son was hospitalized the same time I was. What do you mean you can't find? It's connected to his account. How come his account was paid and mine wasn't? And he goes, we just can't find you in the system, ma'am. You don't have coverage. And I said, what kind of cockamamie-ass idea is this, that a 2-year-old will fucking have health insurance under me, but I don't have health insurance? And yeah, he was like, well, we're going to send it to collections. Go the fuck ahead. I don't exist, do I? Who are you going to send to collections?
Who going to collect? And who they going to collect from? How you going to put, what you going to do on the form for Social Security now? What you going to do? Yeah. So, yeah. But conspiracy, either conspiracy or it's just how things are cluster fudged in this nation. I was just today watching this video about this guy. What was his name? It was a guy who he disappeared for 27 years. Like he had some sort of mental condition where he forgot who he was and he lived a whole life and forgot about it. And because he didn't know who he was, he didn't have a Social Security number. And so he's been on like was it Dr. Phil or something like that, trying to find out who he is. And they eventually found out who he was, but for like 10 years, they couldn't find out who he was. So he couldn't get a job because he didn't have a Social Security number. So like he couldn't get a license. He couldn't drive a car because he didn't have a Social Security number because he didn't know who he was. And so he was like famous for a while. They wrote a book about him. He couldn't rent an apartment. He couldn't buy a house. And so he was literally sleeping in behind a police station in a field in a tent because he wasn't legitimate. He wasn't in the system. The scary part, conspiracy part about it is if it's not like a state system, if you're talking like a federal, they can't find you, there's pretty much nothing anybody can do. Being deleted from the system, there's some conspiracy theory about it, but you didn't live a good life. You didn't live with the banks. You didn't live how you're supposed to live. You're supposed to have a good address. You're supposed to stay there. You're supposed to run up your debt. They're supposed to know how to find you. And y'all wasn't doing it. Y'all were pulling Bonnie and Clyde all over the United States, which got me suspect because now you're looking for another RV to pull some more Bonnie and Clyde. But the credit card companies and the banks, they don't like that. They need you to be where you're at if they ever need to find you. And y'all wasn't being where you supposed to be at. So you might be on a naughty list. That might be what it is.
I'm on quite a few lists. So that was part of a federal, some sort of federal program that they were trying to search for my medical records. And they couldn't find it because I was in a completely different I was actually in your neck of the woods. I was over by where you're at. And yeah. So they couldn't find anything. And then state programs, you can't find anything for me either. I tried doing a background check on myself. They don't have me listed as anyone's sister, anyone's daughter, anyone's cousin, niece, nothing. I don't exist. My children are not in the system. And here's the thing, years ago, early 2000s, we for the first time in years, I was going back to the Philippines with all my siblings and my mom. and they ran my passport. I swear to God, like I was like, oh shit, it's not a joke. Agents came running out looking for me. I was like, oh. And they were asking me hella questions. My name was on the do not fly registry. My entire legal name was on the do not fly registry. I was like, what
the somebody somewhere put you on something that you don't want to be on. And I would say that this, I was flying with a friend of mine, and she's relatively famous. We were in the Belize airport flying back. And she was just in line and she looked at her boarding pass and she saw a number and she said, they're gonna pull me over and check me. I was like, what are you talking about? She said, you know, we're late for the plane. I might miss it, but they're gonna search me. They always search me because I got this number on my boarding pass. And sure enough, we got within 5 minutes of the little line thing and they were like, blah, 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 and pulled her over, went through the bags and everything. When your name gets on that list, whatever that list is, they will always check you out. But the thing is they're lying half the time. I mean, they're lying in terms of can't find you somewhere. I had a friend from the Philippines and I forgot what happened. She had to do something, get her passport or whatever. I don't know what it was. And so she had to file something with the NSA to get, I guess, her papers or something from the Philippines, whatever it was, I forgot. But the funny thing is they pulled baby pictures of her that she's never even seen before. They pulled, because it's something that you have to request, and they pull all the pictures that they have in some database somewhere. They linked together pictures of her aunts and her uncles with her, and she saw pictures and stuff that she's never even seen. They got all the data. They have it all. They know everything on everybody, and it's all linked up all over this world. They got it all. When they say that you're not in the system, I don't buy that. You're just on a harass list. You're on a naughty list where they're just harassing you.
Yeah, well, I think what's going on is that for regular programs, people with entry-level access for security protocol type stuff, they cannot find me. But the ones who really can do something, they got me a nice little folder in the desk. Because you know, they have all my biometrics, all of it. I was working for public safety years ago when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and I have to submit all my biometrics. They scan everything, your retina, facial scanning, mapping,
DNA,
all of that. They know that I submitted DNA for an ASD study because one of my children was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. And I did submit DNA for that to see if they could maybe track. And I got kicked out of that program. I get kicked out of programs. I don't know if it's something like on a soul level where my soul is like, okay, you've submitted enough. You're not allowed to partake. And then it wipes me out. But yeah, that's my whole life right there. Like, she's not in the system. She's not in the fuck all you. Fuck the system. That's what that at this point, fuck the system. I don't care.
Well, literally, I mean, the whole thing needs to collapse. I'm a collapser. I think America needs to collapse. I'm so sick of this nonsense. They don't respect nobody's Bill of Rights. They don't respect anybody. They don't respect the Constitution. The banks run everything. The political parties are useless. I'm like, right at this point in time, I'm like, we just need to reboot the whole thing. I hate the system. But outside of that, conspiracy theory, scary part is that they have your DNA, and now magically you're not in the system. If I was to let my mind go wild, I would think about that movie, Get Out. Is it called Get Out? One where they took the guy and they took his body. I mean, crazy things are happening right now. They have ignorant technology that nobody's really talking about. If they wanted you to disappear because they wanted your body, your DNA, your cells, whatever it might be, they would have to delete you from the system. And if they delete you from the system, you literally don't exist. Like this guy sleeping behind the police station, that's slightly scary. That's concerning. I mean, I would try to get that followed up on. You don't want any surprises. Is someone actually out there like, yeah, we're gonna harvest her? I think those sick people exist.
Yeah, no, they do exist. Absolutely. 100% they do exist, but I don't think it's allowed. And that's all I can say on that.
You're still here. So apparently it looks like somebody started a process and it didn't go to fruition, but that is a little weird and it's a little creepy. But you tell me that somebody is not in the American system. That's the biggest amount of bull shizzle I've ever heard in my life. They got files and records on everybody. These people know when some dude, Jamal Khashoggi, got killed in the freaking Turkish embassy, a nation that's not even our nation, in an embassy that's not even our embassy, and it's supposed to be one of the most secure places on the planet. And they, of course, they lie about it when they have, well, we don't know what happened. You know, they like to play that. But now we got like 2-3 videos and tapes of everything that happened. They heard him and everything, and they never told. The U.S. knows everything. They have hooks into everything. They know everybody, and they got everything. So I don't believe nobody's. They just didn't look in the right system. They don't have access to it, but everybody is covered by this massive worldwide police state.
Yeah, no, and what's crazy, I do feel like I had been being observed since childhood. They would give me different tests than the other children. I've never told anyone that, but I was aware. I was highly cognitive of the fact that my sheets, my Scantron sheets, did not look like the other children's sheets.
All right, hang on. I got it. We're going down a crazy conspiracy world today. I'm fine with. Well, I like to link up technology. I like to question these things. So, I was reading today about this technology where it's software. They actually put this cap on your head and they take in and read your memories, like they read your brain waves, and they've actually created a software package that will put together images of what you saw. So they have a guy, he's like driving a car, they put this cap on his head, and the brain waves that come in and go into this software, actually the videos on Facebook, you can actually watch them do it. But they put together through computer CGI the image that he's seeing through his eyes. I said all that to say this. The alien people are upset with me at the moment in time because I don't think most alien abductions are alien abductions. I think that they probably happen, but I think the vast majority is the American government, and the reason why, for pharmaceutical companies, industries, whatever. I think that if they're letting us know that they have software to reconstruct your images, what you're seeing through your eyeballs, they probably had it for 20 or 30 years. And the easiest way to use human beings as video recorders is to abduct them at night. All you got to do is use like top secret aircraft that don't make sound and let you wake up in the middle of whatever experiment that you're doing or something on you. You got an alien costume, like aliens. And so I'm not saying aliens don't exist. I just think that I see economics for everything. A reason for everything that happens. If somebody can make profit, they'll do it. They do it to the troops all the time. They do it to the soldiers. They get them all rooped and riled up in basic training, get them ready to go and storm a building. And before they do that, they inject them with some new vaccine or something that's barely tested or something. So, is there a reason for experimenting on the public? There always is. Do they do it? They've done it since the beginning of time. You can go back to Tuskegee experiment and the poor whites, the Irish, they did it to them. If you had a certain DNA profile, would you go on a list where they would need to take you and study you every now and then, try something, get samples or something like that? If you're asking me if a nation that has a global cabal that bombs children and drops 200 bombs on buildings every single day on people's head, would they actually experiment on people? Hell yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Have you been abducted?
Me, no. That's the one thing I know for a fact. There has always been, I know that there were several attempts as a child, but they were never successful. There was always something, people would experience this, like a sleep paralysis. Mine, I would feel it set on because I don't sleep. Even when I'm asleep, I'm cognitive of everything happening in the room. That's my husband's like, you're so weird. Like I know what's going on in the room and still asleep. And I would feel presence outside the wall. And then there would be a presence in the wall and it would create a box and it would be like, and I'm like, something's about to go down. But there was always this, and I think it's that the Michael presence, and it's just like, that's not allowed. This is one that you can't do that to. I've never, and then when I do, because I know there are other extraterrestrial species that exist on planet. When they do detect my frequency signature, they all scatter. They are very aware of my energy signature. Even when cloaked, if they can't see me, they know that type of cloaking, the most common type of cloaking that I typically use, they know, oh shit, it's one of those. We need to be out. And so they take off. But yeah, no, I definitely, it's the general rule of thumb. Anything that is considered new tech has been in existence for at least 50 years. They've perfected it about 50 years ago, and they've been slowly conditioning the public to accept this type of technology through TV programming, sci-fi, things like that. So there's a lot of technology that we're like, oh my gosh, that's so like new and high tech. No, that was way back when. Come on. Yeah.
I sit back and I kind of laugh at that stuff when people think that this is new and cutting edge. I worked in corporate America for too long, and I saw too many things and signed too many NDAs. People, we are so far behind. We might be hundreds of years behind what they actually have. I go with you on the most technology is probably 30 or 40 years. Because that's when they start a war or something. So we hear about the stealth fighter 30 years later. We hear about, some new aircraft or some aircraft that they had, the SR-71 or the U-2. Like they'll have it for decades before they tell us. They have to, huh?
Don't talk about this.
Oh, okay.
Redirect.
What's that?
Redirect.
Okay, we'll go another direction.
Yeah. So that crystal cult.
Yeah. So, I think you just get to that place in your life. So you're talking about, say, you say, family, pray or something. That's not most going on. But most people, after you like had that love of your life, you're just like, what else is there to do? Like, I rode that boat, got the t-shirt and the newspaper, and I read the newspaper. I got the inscription on the pen, and I got the t-shirt, did that. I don't really need to do that again. Like, I think once you have like the love of your life, at that point, you're like, well, where do I go from here? It's like a job. You become a vice president. Okay, so I'm gonna go do that again. I'm gonna start over in the mailroom again. So I'm gonna go find somebody and try to figure and put the puzzle things, something that took me 20 damn years to do, where we got this perfect, whatever. And if you do invest all that time into something and you make it work out, like, do I really want to go over and start back over at square one? It's like, nah, if this doesn't work out, crystal coat, it just doesn't work out. Nah, I think I'm just going to do me the rest of my life. Like, I did that. So I agree. I understand that. And that might actually be where I'm at. I'm just like, I'm going to go be a monk somewhere, climb up on a mountain, something, find me a cave to live in.
That sounds really good.
I'm a hermit.
I'm naturally a hermit too. Frey's the one that really gets me to come out of my shell, and but my logic is that I just needed to experience the potentiality of a long-term deep core connection, and I've already established that with one person. I don't need to re-experience that with another. Like, I'm secure in myself, I'm satisfied with myself. That self-exploration, some people might call it selfish, and it's not that I'm the most important thing, it's that my focus is on learning the most about me and how I affect my environment, how my environment affects me. So I don't need that external validation of why I'm a valuable part of creation. Like, whether I agree or not, I understand that I am. All of us are. I understand that about all of us. And so I don't need, I would be perfectly fine being single and celibate for the rest of my life. Like, it's just, I get so fixated on the things that I'm learning that all the other things, even eating and sleeping, kind of get suspended. Those needs get suspended. and I just focus on what I'm learning. So who knows? Who knows? People are experiencing distortion.
Yeah. It's an interesting voyage discovering yourself. It's an interesting voyage when you really start to realize that the real world isn't actually the real world, that this was actually a fake construct of a matrix that we were given. And I think a lot of people are really starting to wake up to that. A lot of people are really starting to realize that we are literally in a matrix. We are in multiple matrices. And what we've been told is real is not real. And we are probably hundreds of years behind where they are. And I think when you really start to embrace that, you want to know the truth. And it's just so, your appetite is just through the roof. You want to know what the real world is really like and who you are, in terms of yourself, not the indoctrinated little monster that they make us into, but your real, true self. And it will make you, you're right, it will make you turn off everything in life if you have to, because there's nothing more interesting than knowing what the real world is like.
I love, love, love talking to you, and I can keep you on for forever. I'm concerned algorithms are tracking your voice at this point.
My voice, what I do? I ain't the one that ain't showing up. I show my face. I ain't afraid. I show my face on the internet every day. I'm not worried about facial recognition. I'm in all the databases. I ain't you. I'm in all. Don't say it's on me. So like, y'all see how she put that on me? Y'all the ones that's stirring up the matrices and the algorithms. Don't put that on me. I pay my taxes. I'm a good slave. Y'all the ones showing up not in databases. They know exactly who I am, where I'm at, where I be, when I'm gonna be back, when they done got everything. Don't put that on me. Don't you do that. Don't know. Nope. But I do have to go. I do have to. I said, I'm talking trash, yo. I do that.
Yeah, you gotta go. You definitely gotta go. Yeah, I'll explain something to you later. But you guys, this is Gerard. You can find him on Facebook. He goes live very often talking truth bombs. Do you mind if they find you on Facebook? I should have probably asked that.
Oh no, you can. What am I on Facebook? I'm Gerard KENYATTE. Hey, and on YouTube, Be the Upgrade. I'm gonna be the upgrade. Huh?
On YouTube?
I'm trying. I haven't really spent like the video promotes when I do a morning video. It promotes out to YouTube and Facebook, but I really don't spend much time on YouTube. I'm trying because I keep getting kicked out of Facebook. I keep going in Facebook jail. They don't like me. But hang on. Whoa, everybody slow down. So don't nobody go over to my page. First of all, I warn everybody, read my page first. Do not send me a friend invite. I'm the weirdest podcast person you'd ever want because I don't do podcasts. I do non-podcasts. We do breakdown. We don't do come over there. We gonna be black and proud. No, don't do that. I'm not black. I don't know what that is. That's a monster. That's a creation by America, by slave masters. We do human being, and people don't like that. I believe in ripping down identities, finding and discovering self. I bring all types of people in from all different communities. I just warn people because I get Emmie, I get invited. So I'd like, oh, let's be friends. They read my page after half a day. Like, I can't do this. You want to be a proud American? No, we don't do that. We don't do that there. We are trying to discover the truth. We question everything. We go everywhere. We get blocked and banned and everything. But like, I like to talk to a lot of different people. I have nothing to teach anybody. I don't know nothing about you. I barely know myself. So if you want to be friends and subscribe, I appreciate you. I want you. I love you. And I'd love to have you over there. But we are a planet of 7 billion human beings, and we're all related. We're all cousins, and we're all divided up, pretending we're separate energies, but actually we're one energy. And I get down from that perspective. I'm not interested in tribalism. Democrats and Republicans. We don't do low vibe politics. We laugh at stuff like that. We're moving to a higher plane. So yeah, no, if you want to, they can subscribe to me. but check the page first. Check the page. Don't come over and get offended. We do big people talk. You got to pull your big panties up and your big drawers. You want to come over to us.
Upgrade one word. I'm looking for you on YouTube right now.
Be the upgrade is one word. Be the upgrade. But it's only one Gerard KENYATTE. Hey, because only one lady in the world crazy enough to give somebody that damn name. So only one woman was on smoking weed, crack, and mixed up with some angel dust and some cannabis. KENYATTE Gerard, hey, we gonna do that. We gonna run with it. You know, my father pride.
Oh my God.
There's only one.
I can't find you.
You can't do a search and find me.
I'm searching.
You know how it's about one person on this planet. Look, somebody sent me an invite. Listen, who is that? Ashanti's darling. I hope that you looked at the page for she ain't following instructions. I just got a friend invite. She ain't following instructions. Maybe she don't care or something. Somebody else, Rose, Venta. Oh Lord, they coming in there. I said read the page first. Y'all don't understand. They're not listening. They're not listening. I'm telling you, I get it all the time. People come in, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna be friends. And I start saying, like,
I'm gonna put a link for his Facebook page for those people.
I lose friend. I get credit for losing friend. I'm the most friend loser person because all right, y'all tough. Okay, come on. If you can dance, the kitchen get kind of hot sometimes. So
that's that one song. You can dance.
We just try to tell.
Put the link for GERARD.
Wait a minute. The video, the audio just went out. Say that again.
Me?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything you just said. The audio choked out.
I said that I added your Facebook link. Now you're getting me algorithm tracked.
I'm gonna get you. Yeah, you better stay. Yeah, I don't know why people don't listen. Yeah, I be in Facebook prison all the time. I don't believe in war. I don't believe in bombing children. I don't believe in psychopathic government. I don't believe in none of that stuff. All your little races and religions. I think I can learn from everybody, but nobody. People already. Nobody listening. They still sending me invites. All right, Emmie. People can come back to you. I don't know why you told me to listen to him. I don't know why I went over there. He over there he's talking about identity is a bad thing. He talking about we need to stop it to tribalism. He talking about I'm just about we need to fix this planet. He doesn't believe in climate change. No, that's not what I'm saying. I have some weird beliefs. The planet literally is an ice ball or it's a fireball. And I don't believe you can tax that into not happening. I think one side is crazy because they trying to tax Earth from not being Earth. They're trying to, and the other side, they don't believe nothing changing. I was literally in Pennsylvania the whole last week. I've been in my flip-flops. It's in the middle of cold damn winter. And you got one side saying, it ain't nothing changing. This norm is supposed to be 70 degrees. And the other side, we gonna tax the Earth into not being Earth. And I'm just like, man, y'all stupid. Y'all not listening. We got to get off of this planet. That's you want to fight climate change? You got to fight the ignorance that you're going to stay on it. We got to get out of here, y'all. We got to build a spaceship, get some Elysium happening, and get the hell out of here. But we can't stay. This is an extinction engine. We're not supposed to be here. The majority of the time this planet done been here, and people, they don't like to hear that, Emmie. They don't like they want to stop the Earth from being Earth, I guess. I don't know. I just don't play no games.
You've heard of that that school of thought where they're saying that a new Earth it's what I've been talking about, spiritual mitosis, a polarization, a splitting. Half the Earth is going to stay in density. The other half is going to rise up. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? To me, it sounds like a new spin on biblical rapture talk.
Well, you know what? But see, now you put me in the string theory space. You put me in that space, right? So any possible, in the multiverse, right? Any possible thing that you can conceive, it will be achieved. You just putting that thought out there, it means it's gonna happen. It means there's literally, that's happening in a multiverse dimension because you just put it out there. So can it happen? Hell yeah, it can happen. Is it possible? Hell yeah, it's possible. You literally had all the gods who said all things are possible. And now modern science is saying all things are possible because of quantum physics. So all things are literally possible. And you got these two ignorant sides who fighting over, that's not possible. That's not possible. Because your side didn't do this and y'all couldn't have done that. Ain't nobody walk on no water. You can't move no mountains. You can't, you know, and it's just like, no, all things are possible. So what is my thought on that? Because you said it, it's going to happen. The question is whether or not you're going to go that path. And like, I think because in string theory, multiple dimensions are being spurted off at all times. And so there are hundreds of billions and infinite versions of you that made different decisions all throughout your past. So of course that'll be a path. I think you just got to choose which one you want to be on. But I think you already chose.
I think I'm on a hermit path. Eventually. I think that's what it is. Eventually.
I
doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just, you know, Emmie, you got these kid things. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I like to keep it real. I go into space cadet. I'm a hermit. I'm a this, that. I'm gonna be out on my own, be in the woods. I'm gonna find me a tiny house up just in the jungle somewhere with the holler monkeys in Belize. You know, I say that all the time. And then that reality sneaks back in. Like, cause I'm like you, and just like Fred, everybody, you got kids like, no, we slaves. We slaves. They ain't 18 yet. They ain't 18. And even after 18, anytime your baby's need, you run it. You ain't Herman and nothing. You ain't Herman and nothing. Them babies, as soon as they pick it, mama. That's all they got. Mama, I need. You know, you're gonna come running. So maybe when they're like 25 and 30 and married and stuff. Yeah, you could be a hermit how old you gonna be when your youngest is 35? You're gonna be like 82. You're gonna be an 82-year-old hermit. And that ain't gonna be cute. I mean, don't get me wrong, Asian women, y'all like to hang on to it, and some Black women like to hang on to it, and the Native Americans like that. Some people age well, y'all like to hang on to, but 82 and hermit and naked crystal coat in the jungle somewhere, a gorilla might find you, think that you part of his tribe or something. I don't know if you should do that. You should probably stay in America. I don't think that's a good. Don't do the hermit thing. That hermit stuff, that's for people not like us who didn't get married, have kids, and started this whole life. We became slaves to other stuff. It's cool to talk about it. I talk about it all the time.
Right.
Huh?
It's nice to free your mind to the potential. But you know, you're not going to go out, because I mean, my kids don't even have to call me. There's times I'm live and I'm like, I gotta go.
That's how I go. That's it.
Now, I was asking, do you believe in spirituality?
Do I believe in spirituality? Who asked that?
Naeem.
Naeem. Okay. Naeem, read my Facebook before you send me an invite. Okay. No, I was raised in the church. I like it because we do religion all the time. I was raised in the church. I very well studied in the Bible, worked in the church. I used to teach Bible study. I was a youth pastor, did all that. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just saying I know the Bible pretty well. And where I'm at now is I know spirituality is a thing. Not only does science agree with that, but all the religions. So there is something spiritual about this plane in its existence. Do I think that any of the books or religions nailed it? Absolutely not. You know, there's truth all throughout all the different books and religion, in my view, you know. And so my perspective, before I scare anybody, is that for me, what opened my eyes that Christ is my teacher, but I'm not a Christian. And the reason I'm not a Christian is because the modern Christian church is pretty much turned on everything Christ taught. And I'm not anti-Christian. This is just my journey, and this is what I'm talking about. But I realized that pretty much all the books in the Bible were copies, right? And if you told this to me 20 years ago, I'd say you was crazy as hell. But now I'm an adult, and I pull my big drawers up, and I stop with the diapers. I'm ready to accept the ugly truth. And the ugly truth is between the Sanskrit text, between the Sumerian tablets, between the Assyrian tablets, we know that there's some sort of a root religion, that all these religions, these scriptures have been copies of copies of copies of copies. And I don't trust your kings and lords. I don't. They said, well, King James, I don't trust him. murder, rapist, and he was gay. You know, and he wasn't even honest about that. So why in the world would I trust what he wrote? You know, the religions have been changed. My voyage right now, when I look at scripture, for the most part, it's looking at scripture, trying to determine what a big G God would do and a little G God. Right? So there's a big G God, creator of universes and dimensions and blah, blah, blah. And I think its footprint is all throughout all the different religions that come from some sort of one root religion. But there's a lot of little G God stuff in there too. And what I mean by that, little G God, aliens, kings, lords, people who just want to control you. The whole kneeling when you pray. And a lot of people don't know where that came from. Kneeling when you pray, that comes from you going before the king. The king wanted you to kneel as a poor person because you needed to be in a non-striking pose. You needed to be on the ground, on your knees when you come before the king. And so kneeling when you pray, that's that king stuff. That's because the king is scared. That has nothing, kneeling at the altar, that had nothing to do. And so when I think about things like that, I try to look for what I call the 98% monkeyisms, right? Because you got 98% monkey conflict stuff all throughout these scriptures. And that's little G, low resonance, low vibe, dark energy, non-big G, universe creating God stuff. And so it doesn't invalidate your God. It's just that I'm seeking God. And the only way I'm going to actually find God, whatever that thing is, getting close to it, I have to filter out the bullshit and I got to bring in what's true. And there's a lot of bullshit because we've been being controlled for a very long time. The last thing I say on that is you literally get your faith, or I got my faith from people 3,000 years ago and say my ancestors 400 years ago. If they were alive today, I'd be their God. I fly in airplanes. I drive cars. I have a little box I can play music out of and show images. I would be a God to them. Do I want to follow what they think was God back then? I don't think that's a wise idea. I think every generation has to move it forward, keep moving, get smarter, get wiser, be honest, which is the hardest part, that you don't know things that we were told that we're supposed to know. I just don't think we know enough. I think we have to have an open mind, seek God, focus on the fact that this God thing, whatever it is, it has infinite knowledge. And I'm working with this monkey brain. This is 98% evolved on Earth monkey brain. You cannot fit universal knowledge inside of this thing. So I believe in spirituality. I just don't think anyone's got it nailed. Anybody who tells you that they got it nailed, I think you need to run the other way.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. These people who place themselves on pedestals because they're gurus, spirit, what you're taking in is someone else's truth. What you're taking in as truth is someone else's truth. This is their interpretation of the things, the little tidbits that they're given, because I 100% agree with you. The human mind was not designed to be able to comprehend, to compute levels of, information that you need in order to begin the process of understanding the truth of spirituality and creation. And people are like, oh, Emmie, you know so much. You're so, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. And the more you recognize about your role in your life and how even the things that you have control over, you didn't realize you had that kind of power. You didn't realize you have that kind of ability to co-create something. If you can't understand your own path, it's going to be very, very difficult to take that one little fiber that's part of a string that's used in a tangled design to create a tapestry. You're not going to understand the tapestry. Stick to your string first. Make sure you understand what that string even is, and that it's a tangled design. It's not just a tangle. It's tangled on purpose in a very calculated way. So there's a lot of things that people will want to debate and question, and maybe we could just leave this at, your truth is yours, my truth is mine, and there's not one that's more true than the other for the person who's holding the truth. And we're all really here just to learn from each other, to help each other make better sense of the tidbits that we're given. And that's one of the things I love the most about you, and why I value your thoughts so much, is that you're so open to allowing yourself to share as well as receive, and then kind of just think about how to interpret what it is you're receiving. That's a very powerful, powerful thing. And the fact that you can share so openly and not have to have people agree with you, that's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. Well, you know what? I try to slay the narcissism in me. I'm like constantly, oh, let me get it, because they try to break you as a child, doctrine. But that making someone agree with you is a narcissistic activity, right? Like the whole debating process. I used to debate all the time. I used to love debating. I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. I once again, I pulled the big girls up. I don't care. I'm not, I don't go into discussions with people to change how they think. I really don't care what they think. I go on to discussions in discourse. I don't go to debate. I expect you to leave a conversation and you believe what you believe. I'm probably gonna believe what I believe, but I'm gonna drop my information and I want you to drop your information. And I respect and love you enough as a distant brother or sister that you can make up your own mind. I don't want you to think like me. Because if I make you think like me, like we keep this whole debating, narcissistic thing going on that we have, we'll all be stupid. You know, you want people to think differently. You need iron to sharpen iron, and that's not going to happen if we can keep these little sociopathic, narcissistic ideas that I think I'm right and I want to make you think like me. I believe everybody's right. I think everyone thinks they're right, and I know that they're right because nobody does anything on this planet like I'm wrong and I'm gonna keep doing this because I'm wrong. Hitler thought he was right. He thought he was helping. You know, they all, the presidents, they all think they're right. They all the congressmen, they're not doing this because they think, oh, I'm an evil, foul person. They do it because they think they're right. And based on their data, their experiences, their DNA, who they are, what they've seen, they are correct. All you can do is go into a discussion and say, hey, look, here's my data, here's my experiences. What do you think? Okay, that's what you think. Thank you. Okay, listen, be blessed, peace, and I'm out. And so I'm not interested in control anybody. You break people if you can beat them down with facts or your thoughts. You know, you want people to think differently. We work better that way.
Right. And is the goal to break people? Is
That is the goal. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
They want to break people.
Yeah. And that's what it is. People don't understand that. They think that debate is healthy and that it's somehow sharing. But when you're debating, you're not actually listening to the individual. You're listening just enough to give yourself a platform from which to launch your next attack. And that's not discourse. That's the most beautiful way to put it. Discourse versus debate. Which one are you attempting? Are you attempting to break someone else's structures down? And is it your job to? Do you have the authority to do that? And if someone's willing to engage with you, I guess they are giving you the authority to do that, right?
It's a game. It's a game, and it's part of how we broke the entire world is by breaking people. And we got to start just loving people for who they are and not try to break them. Try to give them information and want them to help themselves, if anything, and you want to help yourself. But then when you're so focused on yourself and you're trying to find your truth in yourself, you really don't have time for trying to control other people and be right, social media commentary. Share what you have and try to help me. That's what I'm saying. I don't do podcasts. That's a stupid word. If you want groupthink and you want followers and then you make a pod of ignorant people. I'm all about, I just want to meet different people with different ideas, and let's disagree and let's agree to disagree. And all right, let's go, grab a drink or something, or go hang out, or just go our separate ways. But don't, every single white nationalist is supposed to be. Every single gangbanger is supposed to be. Every single person is right where they're supposed to be. Our problem isn't we have bad people, we have bad environments. And when we start fixing the environments that people are reared in, then good things happen.
Yep.
And that has to be our focus. We got to stop pointing the finger at people and grow the hell up. and realize there are no bad people. You just have bad environments in it. And when we allow kids to grow up in bad environments, they're going to oscillate more in the bad than in the good. And that's the focus that we need to be. I'm not on the side of grown people. I think grown people suck, Emmie. I don't like them. I love them. I love them, but I don't like them. I'm on kids' side. I'm on all this side. Every little skinhead, every little white nationalist, every little blood, every little crip, every little Emmie, because they were born in a world, they were just babies. They just wanted love. That's all they wanted. And we, the adults, decide we're going to give them society's design on hate and apathy and indifference. And the first group that came along said, hey, little brother, we love you. Come join us. We'll keep you safe. We'll help you. We'll give you a job so you can go make some money and bring home money to your mama who's working 3 and 4 jobs. And that little boy went and did it, whether he was in a trailer park or a ghetto. And that's why I don't have time for politics, because politics makes you ignorant. It always gives you one low vibe side and a group of people to be apathetic to. And I'm trying to fix the world. I have family all over this planet. They're not races and they're not religions. They're wave energy. Your frequencies. Why in the hell am I going to judge you because of the monkey body you were born in and the conflict that your wave energy? Stop it. I'm not black. Cut it out. Stop it. That's a monster. I'm not African American. Stop it. I'm not. Stop it. That's monkeyism. I'm done with the monkeyism. I'm not Irish. I'm not any of that stuff. I am wave energy. And I'm trying to figure out, the hell am I doing here, Emmie? That's one thing you taught me. Like, we choose to be here. Why the hell did I choose to be? The hell was right? Did I get the wrong address? I think I got the wrong time, the wrong dimension or something. Because I wake up every morning like, oh Lord, I'm still here. What the hell is going on in this place? What are they chewing and killing and bombing and destroying? And it's just, but you're right. I chose to be here for a reason. So I'm here. So while I'm here, I'm going to try to be the best me I can be and be the less. I'm a horrible American. I suck. They should throw me. I believe in the Bill of Rights. I believe in the Constitution, like George Carlin said. I like to think for myself. I don't fit in. I don't fit in at all.
And that's the thing, is that so many people, they've spent their entire life trying to fit in and trying to sound intelligent, according to the filtering of this system that it really exists to create and perpetuate competition versus co-creation. You know, it's a very wounded patriarchal system. And the problem aren't the men. The problem is everyone's participation in the system. The problem is that it's not that women need to be more empowered. It's this recognition, you already have this power, and we have to stop perpetuating this, like, women versus men or race versus race. Like, we really all just come from one thing.
Oh, you just said something. This needs to stop. I gotta go. But this is, you hit on something. Because the thing is, oh wow. So you got my head going. It's just, I'm thinking about it. So women choose to be here. So I'm already against the patriarchal system. So you already know that. That's stupid. We need more matriarchal design and whatever all this ignorant stuff is. But if the wave energy decided to come here in a slightly physically weaker vessel, it doesn't have as much muscle structure, and we abuse it because, like, I'm just thinking about those of you who chose to be in the body of a woman in a patriarchal society where you're abused and you don't even get rights in any nation. Every single nation hates women. I don't care what anybody says. We just dealt with Washington state in this ignorance where everybody sat down and spent millions of dollars, the government trying to figure out if women can show their nipples in public and breastfeed their babies outside of filthy, nasty, funky bathrooms. If you know what, y'all, oh goodness gracious. If we didn't have a police state, I smack every single one, every single congressman, senator in Washington state. The idea that they actually spend millions of taxpayer dollars debating whether or not women have equality, because that's actually what it is, And so no nation likes women. And this is the other, you done got me going on some things here. Well, I'm about to flip out. But another thing, this ignorant, low vibe stuff, they like teasing people with this reparations. I don't want your reparations. Number one, let me tell you, let me explain this to you. Let me explain this to you. If we live on a plantation and you want to share your cotton profits with me, you can go to hell. I don't want none of it, none of it. if we ever get to a point of reparations, you got to look out for everybody. Everybody's family was abused. If you ain't got $1 billion in the bank, they done did something to your family. I really don't care who got abused the worst, but if you really want to play that game, don't play with me. Because there's one group on this planet that's been abused by everybody, every state, every race, every nation. There's one group who is first in line for the most abused group of people on this planet, and it's called women. All right, it's called women. So I don't like people playing with my emotions. I don't like playing with that, but it's a powerful thing that to think that I'm wave energy and I chose the body of a man. I wasn't playing. Hell no. I see what they doing to women down. I ain't going down to earth. Hell no. You see what they doing? And you have creatures so powerful that they were willing to come and get in the body, the worst abused body on the planet. That's deep. That's deep. All right. You now I ain't sleeping tonight. You got my head thinking. I'm just like, damn, you knew it was a patriarchal society. You knew you weren't going to get treated right. You knew you were picking a nation, a place, and the most horrible things happening. You're like, think of the women who are in Yemen, think of the women in the Congo, entire towns of women getting raped. No one in America sending guns over there, while Americans are ignorantly fighting over gun control. And we're sending tanks and weapons to warlords over there that are raping entire town. I need to stop. Emmie, you got me on. You got me going. I don't know why I'm here. I'm trying to find me, Emmie. I was like, why am I here? Why am I with these monkeys? Why are they around here running, eating their children and stuff? Why are they the cannibals? Why am I even here? I need to find myself. That's all.
Another piece of your puzzle?
Yes.
So what if you were goddess energy, primarily goddess energy, and you came into a patriarchal form, into a patriarchal society, so you could experience and empower from a stance that the patriarchal society could more readily accept? And what if these really powerful beings that come in volunteer to be in that matriarchal form and be subjugated in such a way that, I mean, I don't even want to really touch into it because I'm about to lose my shit too. What if they were so powerful that they wanted to experience that vulnerability at that depth, that the only way to experience it, to give better clarity of the gravity of their power, is to allow themselves to drop to that depth and just experience that?
That's so far out. I can't even talk. That's so far outside my understanding. Like I can't even process. I chose to be in America. So I mean, we can even go it from that perspective. Not only did I choose to be a man, I'm a punk because I chose to be in America. I chose to be in the seat of privilege, right? You know, and it's just, I think about how bad that is. That, I mean, who was it? Chris Hedges, who did that study of the hookers in the Philippines. And he wrote that book and he kind of explained that these young girls in the Philippines who were forced into these lifestyles at ages of 15, 16, 17, after a few months, they have the PTSD that's displayed by troops in war. That blew me away. It blew my mind. So it's not even just choosing to be in the body of a woman, but some have chose to be in the body of a woman in a country where they knew at young ages they were going to be. I've heard stories, Emmie, from my friends who come from Thailand, the Philippines, and different places where I had one woman told me I had trouble sleeping tonight. Like the things that we allow to happen on this planet, and it just it really bothers me. The ego that we have, the things that we prioritize in our country, that we think we're the good guys. We like to fight over ego and drama and where the president put his penis and all of this dumb stuff. I want to go because you got my head flipping that. I mean, but the thing is this. So I don't like to end on darkness. I mean, the reality is we live in a beautiful time. And the reason why we live in a beautiful time is because we are actually having important conversations. We're not having them on a national scale. None of the political parties are having them anywhere near at the heights in those parties that they need to. But we actually have access to the information and we know what's happening all over the world. We know what the worst people, a lot of the worst people, probably not the worst of the worst, but we know the conditions that some people live in, and it's completely unacceptable on every damn level. And consider the fact that people chose to be there because they wanted to experience it, or maybe because they thought we were going to do right. Maybe they're there for us, and we're supposed to be picking up on the power that they display so we can do right.
Well, what if you chose to be planted on American soil so that you can grow up being fully immersed in the programming of American culture, so that you would be an insider and know how to dismantle the system from the inside out? Just like with me being planted into the Catholic indoctrination from birth, I know how to dismantle the system from the inside out. No one can come to me and use platforms of Catholicism to try and dismantle the integrity of my work and get me all confuddled because I know what it's about. I'm not someone from the outside speaking about things I don't know, things I haven't lived. And, you know, I don't think you chose the punk way out. I think you chose the most difficult path, one where you're immersed in the very thing that you detest the most on a soul level. And it takes courage. It takes such a level of loyalty to the very souls that you promised you would come here to be the voice for. So I don't think you did a punk move at all. That's the monkeyism coming out.
No, it's still a punk move. That's not what I was thinking. No, I was a punk. I was like, nope, I'm getting married. Like I looked at Yemen, I was like, oh hell no. And then they showed me Africa. I was like, you crazy? And they showed me the Middle East. Man, you got to be out your damn mind. And showed me Canada. I ain't doing that. It's too cold up there. I didn't pick the warmest place. And no, that was a punk move. No, what I was thinking about is what you were talking about in terms of contract. Like, well, what if we had that contract? What if we were in the auditorium in this, all the wave energy got together and we're all thinking about where we want to go. Say, listen, half the room has got to go over here, other half the room's got to go over there. And we had this contract with this other energy on the other side that was going to be on the other side of the planet that we love dearly and we're a piece of. And we agreed, and they agreed to go there, and we agreed to go here because we had an obligation to look out for them. I mean, the beautiful thing about today is that we literally have the automation and software to feed the entire world. I say it every day. Every day we do an unpodcast. You know, one of the reasons I left corporate America is because I realized we literally could feed everybody, and we're not. And I'm not even talking about the America. We literally have the resources, the automation and software to feed the entire world. We have over 12 companies now that are 3D printing houses. The cheapest house is like $500 and it takes 24 hours to print. We got 80,000 people homeless in Los Angeles. We got poo maps of people living on the street in tent cities in San Francisco. We don't have a government. We have psychopaths who are pretending to be a government. We live in a time where we could make all the difference. We could invade the world with bombs, or we can invade the world with food, right? I mean, that's how you dominate a country. You want to topple Iran. You talk about how the Iran government is bad. Yeah, they are. They're nowhere near the bastards that we are. Yeah, they're bad. But you want to topple them? Send them food. Send them 3D printing robots to print houses. Get their people out of conflict with each other, and guess what will happen? They'll love you for it. And you raise that vibration. What if we did that in America? Then these kids wouldn't be joining these gangs. These kids wouldn't be joining these hate groups or whatever. Rape would disappear. Rape should have been gone 5,000 years ago, but we still keeping it going because of what you said. We literally have a society that was designed to keep people in conflict with one another. And we still got so many 98% monkeys in this country that have no idea. The problem is the system. It's not the people. It's not the politicians. It's not the government. It's the system. The system is designed to keep you in conflict with your family member that might have a different skin color or a different religion. And it's up for us. It's up to us to grow up. But anyway, that was the thing that you guys were like, man, what if we did come here and we had a contract and they were just like, yeah, we really don't want to go. We really don't want to go to Iran. We really don't want to do it, but we believe in y'all. So y'all go to America. We're going to go over here and we're going to wait for y'all to bring the cavalry. You know, not with drones, but with chickens and tomato seeds and grow facilities and technology to actually get our government off our back and get all the government off of everybody's back and free the human race finally, so we can go do something important. None of this is important. We need to go do important work, and people can't do important work if they're thinking about where their next meal is coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why I become so vocal about people trying to shame others, light workers, energy workers, whatever you want to call yourself, psychics, charging for their services. It's because they want you to be so inundated with this stress and fear of, where am I going to get money for my next meal? How am I going to take care of my children? What if I can't afford the rent? And everything keeps becoming more expensive, but the wage doesn't increase. What is this bullshit? You know, and people are so busy fighting each other. It's like we spend billions of dollars in aid to other countries who attack small communities and destabilize their own governments. Yet we have a problem creating a budget for people who need food, for people who need assistance for shelter. Like, this is such bullshit. They don't just give out money. Welfare, you have to apply. They look into all your shit. They don't just, it's not free money. It's not. It is not free money. At some point I worked, I put into that system. Me being on welfare is me being repaid a loan that I gave through the entire course of my life. So no, we have to stop that kind of talk. We have to have discourse, not debate. And that's one of the most powerful things I've ever heard you say, the whole discourse versus debate, because debate, it's just to preoccupy you so that you don't see the sleight of hand that's occurring. Let's fight about this $2 million, but I don't worry about that $5 billion I sent in weapons.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's
Real talk.
important. We're you know, for democracy.
Real talk.
Realize the budget, the black budget, the hidden budget is sending more weaponry for the insurgents to be trained, for them to be weaponized and destabilize the government. So we can come in on, I should let you go, boo-boo.
I got to go. I gotta go. I got one more day. That's why I don't like you. I don't like you. I love you, but I don't even like, because you keep me on it. You got too much. You're too intelligent. You say smart things. I can't stand smart people because then they make you think and you can't go nowhere. You hungry, got to leave, get some sleep, got to get some food or something. And I can't even have none of that. This is my last statement. My last statement, counselor, and then I'm leaving. Every American child is born into debt, and that is our problem. Every slug that's born on this planet is born into freedom. Every flea is born into freedom. Every caterpillar, bird, monkey, the dung beetle is born into freedom. But every American child is born into debt. It is born already with shackles on its leg to international bankers that don't even live in America. And until Americans actually think that it's a bad idea that their children are born into debt and they gotta pay rent, they gotta pay a price for being born. We actually made it a negative thing for a child to be born here in this country. And if you don't find that to be a bad idea, that we should continue to make children pay and go to school and get a job and earn money instead of loving them. I mean, these are the kids I got to take. See, this is why they put y'all in the old folks home. They ain't got me on something. This is why they put y'all in there. Because when you don't take care of kids and they don't have the love that they need to, and you show them, oh, survival of the fittest, huh? Yeah, okay, you wait till you get old and you start pooping in your drawers. You need your diaper change and everything. We're going to send you to that home because we can free the next generation. And we need to, at some point in time, examine our own soul and ask ourselves, do we want human children born in America having it to be a right to live, land to live on? Or do we want it to continue to unconstitutionally be owned by the government? And I don't want to keep talking about America because I'm here. The only reason I talk about America because I'm here. I'm not an American. I'm not an American. I'm not, because I'm a patriot to the people who live in my land, and the people, this thing, America, this symbol, this flag, and all of that stuff, they sold y'all out a long time ago. They burned up your Bill of Rights. They pissed on your Constitution. They broke that contract a long damn time ago. And it's time people figure that out and wake up to that. I'm a bad American. I'm good to my neighbors, and I'm good to the people in my lands where I live. But once we get our soul right, that will go viral all over the planet. And that's the beautiful thing about being in this particular land at this particular time, is we have the ability to create a model that the whole world will run to. We will free the whole world. Or we can sit around and keep playing this game with these bankers and defense contractors and all of this nonsense and war that's going on. And when they're done with America, because what, we done lost 98% of the value of the dollar since 1913, something like that. When they're done with America, when they finish looting it, they're gonna pick the banks up like Starbucks. Starbucks is moving to China. A lot of people don't know that. They're shutting down and moving, they're going with the money. You think Lockheed Martin's gonna stay? You think Raytheon's gonna, you think the banks and all, do you think they're gonna stay here when we're broke, busted, and we don't make nothing? They're gonna pick all those corporations and all those tanks and everything up and go right to Russia, China, wherever. And that's gonna be the new policeman of the world. And guess what the Russians gonna do? They're gonna be like, nah, 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 nah. We got this. And now we gotta go another 400 years before they wake up like, oh, maybe we should help the world. Americans are in a very key position. You know, we do have a government that's designed to be changed. And the beautiful thing now is the left should realize they ain't doing nothing for you. They don't give two damns about you nor your little nasty children. And the right, they need to realize too, they don't give two damns about you. You didn't have two presidents, one that was black skin, they ain't do nothing for the people in the black skin. You got another one that's white skin, claimed that he was for the poor whites, and he done turned on y'all too. At what point in time do people grow the hell up and finally say, you know what, we're done with this. We realize this system is not for us. The problem is the system. We're going to look out for the next generation more than these ignorant politicians and the politics, and say no. But anyway, I'm not going to go through it. I'm done. Shut up. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to say nothing else. Say the children, about the children, about fixing them. Kids shouldn't be born in debt. I'm done. Emmie, say the last words. I'm going to get out of here.
All right, so I guess the last words are, the system's not broken. It works exactly as it was designed. It's not that the system is broken. It works as it was designed, perfectly, beautifully, efficiently. It's time to instill a new system with new thought forms. One that returns us to a matriarchal society, not because women are better, but because women make beautiful nurturers, and that's what this world needs, nurturing. There's a lot of wounding that's occurred through so many generations. Even the mothers have forgotten how to be mothers. Many of the mothers now have forgotten. They're so busy trying to prove they can be just as strong as men that it's an attack on the family unit. It is. No more. No more.
I'm biting my tongue. I'm about to bleed. I'm done. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh my God. I'll bring you on again soon. I would love for you to come back.
Right, awesome. Thank you so much. It was fun hanging out with you and your crew. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Gerard. Have a good night, everyone. Bye, Gerard.
Good night.